Welcome to Collecting Chaos. My name is James, and this is Coffee with Chaos. A little stronger than what that's because I had it plugged in all day. Before I get started showing any comics or anything like that, I want to talk about a few terms that I use. In particular, lower grade and low grade. Kenneth, how are you doing? Glad you could stop in. Let me turn the comments on. When I say lower grade, that means it's a lower grade than the one I have in my collection. When I say it's a low grade, that means it's like a 2.0, 1.8, maybe a 3 on a good day. So that's the difference in those terms and the way I use it. A lot of people get confused because, like today, I handed somebody a copy of Robin number 8 and said, "Here you go, you can have this." And I said, "It's a lower grade. It's my lower grade copy." And she looked at it and said, "It's like near mint, you know." And yeah, it was like near mint, but it was not quite as good as the one I have in my collection. So to me, it's a lower grade. Doesn't make sense to anybody but me, but to me it makes sense. So that's what I have to say about terms. For actual, like when I'm selling comic, I use 3 terms: high grade, mid grade, and low grade. Yeah, not quite as good. But wait do you see how Condor Man is coming out. Much better, but there won't be any in today's. I just pulled one out of the cold press today, so it won't show up until next week. But, I've got comics that I picked up at the store. I've got comics that I pressed over the last week. I've got the other half of that box that I showed yesterday morning. And the reason I said the other half of that box is because I've gotten 2 more boxes since then. So I've got plenty to fill in the gaps for my what the bleep. But I do want to show you something I got. Now, you'll see this tomorrow, but I just wanted to show you the box it came in. It's been opened because I've already done the recording, but you won't see it until tomorrow morning. But I did decide I would go ahead and show you these. I just got these the other day. They need a press. That's not a big deal. Disneyland magazine, number 76 and 99 and 96 and 75. So that's 4 more to add to that little collection, but I'm going to press them as soon as I figure out how I want to press a book that size. I have pressed Treasury size before, Life magazine size. Actually, I've pressed some Life magazines before, but it's not easy, and you got to be real extra careful with it. So what do we want to see first? What I picked up today at the comic shop, or what I pressed, or the other half of that box I showed yesterday? I'll leave it up to you people. All 3 of you. Just here browsing, glad to see you. Michael Mayrand, always a pleasure, buddy. All right. Today's pickups. Okay. We'll start with a couple of older ones, um, and these he actually gave me, which I didn't realize until I checked my receipt that he didn't charge me for them. But he does that sometimes. I read the first two of these, and I wanted to read more, so I got to change my camera. Cheetah and Cheshire robbed the Justice League, so I picked up number 3 and number 4, and like I said, he just gave me those. That was nice of him. I appreciate it. Of course, I think it's like a 6-issue miniseries, so I'll still, after I read these, I'll have to get the rest. Picked up JSA number 21. Absolute Martian Manhunter number 12. Not really crazy about this one. It's okay, I guess, but it's just not. Yeah, I'm not that crazy about it. I was missing End of Life number 3, so I went ahead and bought that. This is a really good series. I'm really enjoying it. Basically, the main character got caught helping out some buddies of his, robbed somebody, and the person they robbed was like a kingpin, and now he's on a hit list for everybody. And I missed issue number 3 somehow, so I went ahead and picked that up so I can get caught up. Yeah, you weren't quick enough. The Brutal Dark number 4, another issue I missed, and this is also a really good story. And I kind of like the art style in it. Very noir. Very happy about this. Cruel Universe number 12 came out. And if you're not getting these, well, you probably should. If you're buying new comics, you should be getting these. Then we got Batgirl 21. I got this cover. And of course, the interior has the regular cover. Batman, Green Arrow, and The Question, Arcadia, Book 4. The Dead Man, number 2. Kind of a bizarre story in the first issue. I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with it. I don't know why I put this one in my box, but Avengers JLA number 2. I guess this is the only cover he had left. But as I was getting ready to leave, I said, hey, I guess I'll pick up Avengers JLA number 1 next week since I don't have it. They said, well, I have it over there. And I said, yeah, but I'm spending enough money right now. I don't want to get another one. If you think about it, just put it in my box. I'll pick it up next week. He walked over the shelf, grabbed the copy, and handed it to me, and he said, enjoy. So got 1 and 2 for the price of number 2. Again, got a really nice comic guy, and he prices everything before he sells it. Well, except when I see him working on something and ask him, give me a price on everything. Supergirl Survive number 2. And this logo cover. And there's the regular cover. Absolute Green Lantern number 16. Sonic the Hedgehog Metal Legion. It's the Sonic DC crossover. It's fun. It's a fun read. Adventures of Superman, Book of L. I'm having trouble getting into this. I've read 9 issues so far, and I'm just having trouble getting into it. This is the 10th issue, but I love the cover. That's a Perillo cover. And there's the A cover. Batman number 11. I love this cover. It's so good. And of course, the A cover. Wait, there's more. See, I also signed up to get all the swimsuit variants, and unfortunately, the first one was a Batman. Okay, now we're going to go a little bit off the wall, and then I'll show you my favorite picks. Archie Comics celebrates America's 250th, number 1. You know I had to get that. I mean, passing up on that would be like passing up on a Betty and Veronica swimsuit or pinup special, you know? Or a Josie and the Pussycats annual spectacular. That's from last year, by the way. Archie Game Galaxy. Yeah, we don't want to miss that. And of course, everybody needs Archie Meets Jay and Silent Bob, right? Yeah. I don't know why I picked those up, but it doesn't matter. And now, for the one comic book that upset me, Poison Ivy number 46. Of course, I got the swimsuit variant. Of course. And that's not what upset me. What upset me is this cover is awesome. So I had to get that one too. And then, of course, there's this cover that's equally, maybe even more awesome than the one previously. And finally, how could I pass that up? Stephen Walker, do you do making boxes? What do you, I'm not sure what you mean. I don't make boxes. You put my last comic. Glad to see you can stop in. I get boxes and I put them together and I store my comics in them, but I don't make boxes. And I don't cut comics up and decorate boxes or anything like that. No, if that's what you meant. So anyway, that's what I picked up at the comic book store. Mostly DC, of course, because I'm a DC nerd. Always have been, always will be. So let's get started with what I pressed. No, you don't. Must be because they were marble. This is Classics Illustrated number 47-165 from 1962, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Next up, we've got Doc Stern, Mr. Monster, number 4. That is Jeff Bunivert cover. And Pat Broderick did this cover on Sunrunners number 1. from PC Comics. From 1978, we have Pete Morrissey doing Thunderbolt number 58 Modern Comics reprint. This one came out pretty nice. Earl Norham from 1990, Khazar and the Guns of the Savage Land. This actually up here says Marvel Graphic Novel 17, but it is not listed as Marvel Graphic Novel 17. It's listed as Khazar, Guns of the Savage Land. And that is, yeah, Earl Norham cover. There's a Dan DiCarlo cover on Archie's Pals and Gals number 185. Phil DeLaura, Chip and Dale. This is number 23. It's got a chip out of where Chip's name is. It's chipped, so you know. Tomb of Dracula number 35. For some reason, I have this as a Tim Vetch cover, a Rick Vetch cover. I don't know if it is or not. It does kind of look like what he would do. Let's see. Marvel Super Special number 13 from 1979. Warriors of the Shadow Realm. Part 3. John Buscema artwork. There's a Richie Rich Riches number 31. From 1977. Plop number 21, Joe Orlando cover. Joe Staton on E-Man number 7. Maverick number 15 from 1961. This title strip, it had paint on it. I got a lot of the paint off. I couldn't get it all off. At least I got it off so that it can be read. But I don't like the way that looks. So I'm going to pull it out. And all this is I went online and made a copy of the cover. I'll fold it over so it presents a little better in my collection. Not trying to fool anybody. It's not for sale. But it does make it look better. Next up, Dave Sam and Cerebus, number 78. Classics Illustrated 48-130 from 1956, David Copperfield. It's got a few problems, but overall it looks pretty nice. Michael T. Gilbert on Doc Stern, Mr. Monster, number 5. Is a Marvel Super Special number 16, Bob Larkin art on The Empire Strikes Back. This is actually a pretty expensive book. I was surprised. And this one is in pretty nice shape. We've got Sunrunners number 2. Pat Broderick, of course, did the artwork. Miguel Repetto, 1977, Texas Rangers number 76, Modern Comics reprint. Archie's Super Teens number 1. Joe Staton. I kind of like the way he does Archie. Another Marvel Super Special. This one is an Earl Norem cover of Dragon Slayer. Got a tear down here. It's not in the best shape in the world, but it's adequate for my collection. I'm not trying to get mint copies of the magazines. I just keep what I get. Pete Alvarado from 1976, Chippendale number 40. My favorite Disney cartoon characters. John Stanley did this one, Melvin the Monster, number 2 from 1963. Gil Kane, Tomb of Dracula 36. Richie Rich Riches, number 36, Warren Kremer cover. Cover's not in the best, comic is not in the best shape in the world, but turned out pretty nice. Of course, it's in Mylar, so, you know, a turd looks good in Mylar. We've got Plop, number 22, David Manick cover. Another Joe Staton, E-Man number 4. Plus a Michael Mauser solo. There's a Marvel Super Special from 1983, it looks like. Number 28, Krull. I remember watching that in the theater, believe it or not. I wanted some popcorn that day. So I went and watched the movie. Saw a lot of movies just to get some popcorn. Here's Cerebus number 79. Of course, Dave Sim did the art. You still haven't seen Krull? You poor deprived child. Classics Illustrated number 55. Henry Kiefer did the art. 1949. Silas Mariner. Now, why didn't I say 55 dash something? Because this is the first print. So it's 55 dash 55. I like that when that happens. Here's another Doc Stern, Mr. Monster. This one is number 7. Michael T. Gilbert did the artwork. Another Pat Broderick, Sunrunners, number 3. Marvel Preview, number 16. Masters of Terror. That's a Tom Palmer cover. Unfortunately, it has fingerprints along here, not my fingerprints. I've always kept it in a bag and board. Warren Statler did the cover of this one, Yang number 11. This is the Modern Comics reprint. Cover has a lot of wear on it. There's Archie Super Teens at number 2. Brett Blevins artwork on this cover. Making Betty and Veronica a little more busty. Yeah, but Excalibur was a much better movie. It had a similar look, but Excalibur was a whole lot better. Pete Alvarado again on Chip and Dale. This one is number 58. Nasty stain on it, but I'm not going to clean it other than what I already did. Marvel Previews, number 17. What's that name? Kokalis? Thomas Kokalis or something like that? I don't know. Black Mark. Next, we have a comic from 1953. Dick Moores did the artwork on this nice copy of Mickey Mouse number 31. That is actually a really nice copy. If I was into getting comics graded, I would send this in. But I like them raw. Tomb of Dracula number 37. I'm going to need to get another copy of this. This one is insufficient. It is incomplete. It is missing the Marvel value stamp. Now, that wouldn't be normally be a big deal, but in this case, it affects the story. So I need to get another copy of Tomb of Dracula number 37. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting magazines, and the magazines aren't very expensive. You can pick up most magazines size comics for under $5. So just keep your eyes open. You might find what you're looking for. Finally, we have a Richie Rich Success Stories number 29 from 1969. And I think that's a good way to end this part of the video. So, there you go. That's what I pressed. And that is what I got at the comic shop today. So we take a little break, drink a little coffee. Of course, I could drink a little tea. I have that also. Yeah, I like the Marvel magazines. So when I get those, I generally don't let them go, unless it's a duplicate. So, oh, haul! We haven't gotten to the haul. See, I have half a box of comics here. That's the second half of the comics I showed in yesterday morning's What the Bleep Did I Get Now? And this is how I've decided to do that. If I bought the comic online and it's shipped to me, it's What the Bleep Did I Buy Now? If I'm showing you comics that I picked up or people have brought me and I bought them, then it's What the Bleep Did I Get Now? So this is the second half of the What the Bleep Did I Get Now from yesterday. And we'll get into that in just a few minutes. I get a lot of stuff, and I enjoy it. I like getting stuff. I'm thinking about showing my Barbies. Not all of them, just the ones that are still in the box. The superhero ones. You know, I showed the Batgirl before. I've got Batgirl, Supergirl, Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy. I've got a bunch of them. So I might show those one day. I don't know. I'll think about it. In the meantime, let's go back to the other side and I'll show you these other comics. A lot of these I'm probably going to offer up for sale at some point. So you're going to get a sneak peek of them. I do need to do a sale at some point. I'll probably do it online. So here we go, starting with Spider-Man 2099, number 22, in a newsstand. Catwoman number 12, newsstand. Spider-Man 2099, 21. Captain America number 430 with a bent cover. I will at some point I will get out my my little iron and add a little water to that and unfold it and make it press nice. Superman, the Man of Steel, number 30. Newsstand. You know what? I don't think I have that in a newsstand. I don't think I have this Catwoman in the newsstand either. I might have to keep those. Worlds Collide, number 1, Rift Between Worlds. I have a ton of these still in the Mylar. I don't have one in a newsstand. See, I haven't gone through these yet. X-Force number 36, newsstand. Thor 476, newsstand. Oh my gosh, is that? I'm going to have to check that because that says DeCarlo. We'll set that one right there because I'm going to check that cover, the cover artist on that. Spider-Man and X Factor #3 newsstand. Pat Broderick art. Yeah, there's another one of those. There's another Superman '91 newsstand. And there's one. Put that off to the side just in case. Justice League International #5. I have that put to the side already. Newsstand copy. Catwoman 12 newsstand. Green Lantern 53 newsstand. Another one of the Justice League. Cyberforce #5. Stupid phone. I thought I turned that thing off. Strike Force #4. Well, it's not telling me to recharge it, so I'm good. Pit #5 newsstand. I've got like 4 copies of this now, all in newsstand. Avengers 377 newsstand. Kilted Corgi. Glad you could stop in. You never know, it could be. Uncanny X-Men #315 in a newsstand. I know somebody that wants that. X-Force 36. X-Men 2099 #10. La Lunatica. Spider-Man and X Factor #1 newsstand. New Men #3 newsstand. Freak Force #6 newsstand. There's a Superboy #7 newsstand. I'm going to set that off to the side just in case. Wolverine 84 Adam Kubert cover newsstand. Action 701, Action Comics 701 newsstand. We'll set that one off to the side just in case. Supreme #13 newsstand. I think almost all of these are newsstand. Strike Force #4. Cyberforce #5. Another Pit #5. Max #9. New Men #3. Captain America 431. Violator #3. Savage Dragon 10. Captain America 430. Detective Comics 676. Just in case. There's another Superboy number 7. Wrath number 5. Firearm number 8, Dan Brereton cover. Firearm number 7. Justice League America number 90. War Strike number 2. Solution number 8. Justice League International 65. Robin number 8. Superman Man of Steel 28. X Factor 104. X Force 36. Superman 36. 36. 36. 36. Adventures of Superman 515. I think I already pulled that one out, didn't I? Put it off to the side just in case. Superman 92. Yeah, all of this is just in case stuff, but I have another one. So. This is another Worlds Collide number 1, Rift Between Worlds newsstand. This one I'm pretty sure I already pulled. Superman Man of Steel 30. Yep. Or 36, excuse me. X-Men Adventures number 6. I know somebody that's definitely going to want that because it has Gambit on the cover. X-Force 35. Forceworks number 2. Spider-Man and X-Factor number 3. So I have all 3 parts of it. I might have to pull that out. Yeah, but I didn't. I just bought the comics, and they just happened to be newsstand, which is kind of cool. I liked that, but it wasn't. I didn't buy it as a newsstand lot. I just bought them as comic books, and since I bought them, since I bought them bulk, I didn't pay a whole lot of fees for them. There's another X-Men 2099 number 10. X-Men Classic 97. Uncanny X-Men 315. Wildcats number 11. And Freak Force number 6. So, yeah. That's those. I want to check this out. I want to check it out now. Because if Dan DeCarlo did the artwork, then I'm going to want to keep it. If he did the cover. So let me see here what I need to do. I need to go to this. I need to go here. We're going to check the Grand database. Type in Thor. 378 issues. Mike DiCarlo. Okay. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, Mike DiCarlo did the inks on it. So that's not one I'll be keeping. I might toss it into a box for somebody if they need it. Yeah, I don't. When people bring me bulk comics, let me switch my camera. Yeah, when people bring me bulk comics, I, I basically pat them down and measure them and decide what I want to pay for them. I don't look at them first. A lot of times I have no idea what I'm buying. This last lot I bought, not this one, but the one after that, um, the guy came and picked up 3 out of the 4 comics that I was pressing for him. The Spawn #1 wasn't ready at the time. It is now, but it wasn't ready when he came by. And he brought me some comics and a bunch of graphic novels that I don't care about. But you know, I'll pay a buck a piece for a graphic novel because I'm going to sell it for 5. So, or I take them to little sidewalk sales and stuff like that, and put them in a box. $5 each or 5 for $20. I usually do all right with them. So, yeah, that's. And then he had those Disneyland comics, and then a box full of other stuff that I haven't even looked through yet. Still haven't looked through it. That's I buy bulk sometimes. I shouldn't, but I do. That's why I have so many comics. And I might buy 500 comics and find one for my collection. Okay. I'll get rid of the other ones eventually. Maybe. I did get one kind of a neat comic out of that last guy. I did notice one, and I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. But I don't see it now. I got an X-Men 134 in low grade, which of course has Dark Phoenix on it, and that was cool. Low grade copy, probably $4 or $5 if I'm lucky. I'll clean it up a little bit, press it, maybe I'll get a little more. Oh, I didn't pay $500 for them. If I buy 500 comics, I'm not going to pay $500 for them. Unless they're really good. I might go 100 and a quarter, 150 for them. If there's a couple of decent books in there. But I'm not buying any more early Supermans this year. I don't think. Now I'm not going to promise that, but I don't think I'm going to buy any because I kind of want to get that Daredevil #1 this year. I've only got 6 months left to do it. Yeah, I get a lot of comics. I've got a house full. Almost literally. But I love comics. So. Kind of. My shelves are against the walls. There's actually a window behind this shelf here. uh, and you can tell because here's my little air conditioner. It keeps the room almost comfortable. And then I have windows to my front here that are blocked off with a black curtain. So I have shelves over here, a door there, more shelves here, and shelves all along the back wall, which is adjacent to my. It, it's air conditioned in the winter and heated in the summer bathroom. So, and then in what's supposed to be my living room, which is where I actually sleep, and where I work on a lot of comics too. There's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 shelves like this that are full of comics. Wait, no, there's 10 of them full of comics. And then in another room, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In another room, I have another 9 shelves that are full of magazines and assorted other stuff. One of the shelves is nothing but cards, baseball, football, basketball cards like that. Yeah, it's slightly warm today. I canceled my plans to cut the grass because, you know, they said it was going to be over 100. And when I cut the grass over 100, my neighbor panics, so I don't do that anymore. I'll cut some of it tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'll do what I need to do. Go feed the cats and cut the grass. It'll be about 8:30, 9 o'clock, so it'll be fine. It should only be about 90 degrees by then, so we'll be all right. But I like it. What I don't like is my plan was after I retire, I'd spend more time fishing. Since I retired, I have not been fishing one time, and that pisses me off. I need to go fishing. I might do that tomorrow instead of cutting the grass. I might go fishing. I can't cut mine before a heat wave hits because it hits in June and it or in late May, early June, and it doesn't go away till like September, October, November, somewhere around then. Yeah, I'll probably cut some grass tomorrow. I'd like to go fishing tomorrow, but I'll probably cut some grass tomorrow. Maybe I'll go fishing Friday. Cut some grass, take a shower, work on Superman 14. Sounds like a plan. The nicest part about being retired is I don't have a bedtime. I don't have any time I have to go to bed. I don't have any time I have to get up. So I go to bed about anywhere between 10 and 12 o'clock at night and get up at 5 in the morning. Not because I want to get up at 5 in the morning, because that's when I wake up and I can't go back to sleep. So I take a nap, take, take a little afternoon nap. Yeah, it's no, I don't fish in the Trinity River. I've got the Leon River is like a mile from my house, so I'll either fish there or I'll go down to Belton and fish. Yeah, Trinity is a little further away. Why should I? Why should I drive 3 or 4 hours to fish when I can drive anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes and fish. Lake Palestine is supposed to be some decent fishing. If I had a boat, I might go over there, but I don't. I have to fish from the bank. It looks like the camera's having trouble keeping up with me today. Yeah, Michigan generally doesn't see 96 degrees. They see humid, but not 96. Oh, okay. Yeah, I live in between Fort Hood and Waco, and that's about as close as you need to know. I also live in a floodplain, which is bad, but that's the way it goes. Uh, so the soil is real rich. Oh, okay. I moved here in 2001. No, 2002. No, that's not right. It was 2001 I moved here. Uh, November 1st, 2001. So yeah, I'm still the new guy. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind moving back to where I grew up, but the politics there have gotten stupid, so I don't want to. Uh, I know the house that my grandmother and grandfather lived in went up for sale a couple of years ago, and I seriously considered trying to buy it. But yeah, that would mean moving back there, and I don't really want to live in that area. Yeah. Yeah, 90s aren't bad. 90s, 90-degree weather to me is no big deal. I'll wear a long sleeve shirt in 90-degree weather. People think I'm crazy for doing it, but you know, it doesn't bother me. It's when it gets 104, 105. That's when it starts bothering me. Yeah, yeah. PA's pretty nice. It's okay. I I grew up in Northern Virginia, Fairfax County. Lived there from the time I was 2 to the time I was 22. And then joined the army and lived all over the place. Really, Texan wife made you move back to. Yeah, when a Texas woman says something, you listen because there's no option. Oh, okay. I was in a Dollar General the other day, and there were a couple of soldiers that were in there, and I got ready to tell them thank you for their service. And one of them walked up to me and he held out his hand to shake my hand. I said, So I'm looking at him like, what? But of course I shook his hand because he's a soldier. He said, thank you for your service. And what do you mean? He said, with a haircut like that, you have got to have been in the military. I said, no, no, I didn't have to, but I was. Yep. Yeah, I've met some. I'm not going to say they're bossy. Texas women aren't bossy. It's just that when they speak, you better listen to them because you don't want to know what the alternative is. And God help you if they do this. It's over. You done messed up for good. It's going to take you months of gifts to even start to get back into their good graces. But I don't think that's a Texas woman thing. I think that's just a woman thing in general. When they point their finger, that's you're done. My mom used to do this. And if she did this, you were okay. But if these three fingers curled back, better run and hide. But it's not going to do you any good because she's going to find you. Oh, my daughter got me a great cup for Father's Day. I haven't used it yet, but I do intend to. It's yeah, I'm just it says I'm not the stepdad, I'm the dad that stepped up. And that's just really, really cool. So don't be surprised if I'm drinking out of this someday. Hey, Dylan showed up. So I've got a what the bleep coming out tomorrow. Uh, and that's that box I showed earlier. For those that weren't here, that was this box. So you get to find out what was in that. I got another box today, but I'm not going to show you my checks. So my bank changed. Uh, they merged with Huntington, which means Huntington bought them out. And they changed my account number, so I got new checks. Uh, yeah. Because I pay my rent with a check, I pay the garbage with a check, and if I need to buy propane, I use a check. So I needed checks for my checkbook. And then anytime if there's a problem with my debit card, which happens every now and then, they'll cancel the card and send me a new one. And while I'm waiting to get the new one, I use checks to pay for things at the stores. So, yeah, those I'm not going to show you. And let's see. Then tomorrow I have a delivery, so I'll have a what the bleep for Saturday. I think I have another delivery for Friday, but I'm not sure. Yep, that's my checkbook. That's a bill I have to pay. My garbage bill. Um, what I do is I'll write the check on. They pick up on Friday, so I'll take the garbage out Thursday night, and then Friday I'll write the check for them and put it in the envelope, and I'll stick it in the trash sticking out. So when they come to collect the trash, they collect the garbage payment as well, and I don't have to spend money on a sedan. Most of the time, I use a debit card or a credit card. I've got about 5 credit cards. Credit score is going up slowly, but it's getting there. I'm 30 points away, I think, from having excellent credit, so that'll take about 5 years. Yeah, checks are great for some things, but not for others. And like I said, if you have a check and if you have check, and when I go to the comic book store, I take my checkbook. It's in the car. The car is locked. But sometimes people will bring comic books in while I'm there, and the owner won't want them, but will ask me if I'm interested in them. And if I'm interested in them, I have no problem with writing a check, as long as it's not for more than what I have in my account. Yeah, unfortunately, when you're buying stuff from people in person, they don't much like you to tap. Now, me, I don't care. If you see me on the road and I've got comics, you want to buy those comics, yeah, I'll pull out my my card reader so that you can tap. Goes to my PayPal account. I have a business PayPal account. Actually, I have two PayPal accounts. I have a PayPal personal account and I have a PayPal business. And then the only reason I have the PayPal business account is so that when I do these shows, people can use credit cards. They can use the debit cards, or they can pay cash. I take cash too, amazingly enough. Yeah. I don't write checks unless I have the money to pay for them. That's that's the way I am. And I usually have, $80 to $100 in cash on me. So that's uh, that's my emergency fund. And when you see something you have to have, and you don't want to put it through a debit or a credit card, yeah, pull out that wallet and go. Yeah, getting me to open my wallet is worse than Scrooge McDuck. I'll do it for just anything. It's like when I went to get a haircut the other day. They told me $30. I said, "Oh, well, I draw Social Security and I get a little over $600 in retirement." And they went, $20. I went, okay, I'll do that. Yeah. No, I can't do that. It's sad. I mean, I remember going to the store or going to the barber shop with a quarter to pay for my haircut. Of course, that was when I was about 7 or 8 years old, but still, prices have gone up just a little bit on haircuts. Yeah, and when you're paying $30 for a haircut, and it takes them 15 to 20 minutes to do it, they're making a they're making a killing. But the shop I went to this was a new place that I went to. I've never been there before. Uh, Real nice guys, real nice people. And they told me the price of a haircut. I just said, no, I'm not, that's that's more than what I'm willing to pay. And they work with me. They do $20. Yeah, I'm stuck with it. My mom, when she died, had a full head of hair with no hair loss. My dad had hair up. He was 93 when he died. He had a full head of hair. So I'm not losing any anytime soon. But that doesn't bother me. I don't mind having hair. I've grown attached to it. I've had it since I was my whole life. It has thinned a little bit over the years, but it's still there. Uh, I can't go out in the sun anymore without a hat on because I will burn the top of my head. Yeah, my dad, but here's the thing. My father's hair was just about the same as mine, only his receded a little bit more along the sides than mine has. But other than that, it's the same, and the thickness probably comes from my mom, as does the color. She had dark brown hair, so did I. But as we get older, it gets silver. Uh, what you could look in the don't just look at your parents, look at your grandparents too, because it could have been, it can skip generations. Oh, I'm out of coffee, so I'm going to switch to tea. I know it's a beer mug, but I drink tea out of it. Jackson Roy Kirk, glad you could stop in. Of course, you missed everything, right? Oh, I looked at the last time I saw the younger of my two sisters. It was like looking at my grandmother or my father's mother. I mean, dead ringer. They look identical. Yeah, you might see a few cool things. Nah, I don't put ice in it. I just keep it in the refrigerator and pour it in a glass, and then I drink it until it's gone. Right now, it's room temperature, and that's fine. I don't care. Yes, you do. There are a few Marvel mags in there. I always show a few Marvel mags when I have them. Some type of magazines. Nothing special. Nothing important. Unless The Empire Strikes Back is important. Crawl, The Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. Little things. I'm going to probably stay in the house and not do anything. My plans for I never do anything on the 4th of July. I put my flag out. That's about it. Which reminds me, I got to bring my flag in. I haven't done that yet. I feed the cats. I put out the flag. I feed the cats. I take the flag back in. I didn't take it back in because I was getting ready for this. So I need to bring my flag in tonight. Yeah, but for it to be really important, it has to be in high grade, right? And mine only looks like this, so not that big a deal. I might on the 4th. I might till my garden under and then put some cardboard over it. But to do that, I need to go buy some dirt. Because what I want to do is till the garden down, because what I've got there, the bugs have pretty much eaten it. I'm not going to get any broccoli this year because it's not making, it's not flowering out. So if it's not going to flower out, I'm not going to get any broccoli. The radishes I've gotten all the radishes I'm going to get. Might have some carrots. I'll have to check. And I might have a little bit of bib lettuce left that I can get. Well, I mean, I think I paid like 50 cents for it back in the 90s. Yeah. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to till it all under, nice and smooth and flat, and then I'm going to put cardboard over it, put dirt over the cardboard. Nice clean soil that I bought, and I'll only need to do that once, and that'll keep the weeds from growing out because your weeds won't be able to get through the cardboard. And then next year I'll be all ready. I just have to make sure that when I cut the grass, I don't spread any grass seed over it. But what I might do is cover it over, cover the dirt over as well, like a tarp, just to keep everything off of it until I'm ready to plant again, which might be next month. I don't know. Yeah, I thought about that, but that's too much work. I'd rather just go ahead and put it into the ground. And if I put cardboard down, the weeds aren't going to come through the cardboard, and I can go ahead and poke holes through it and plant where I want to plant. I don't know if I'm going to do that again today or this year, or just prep it for next year and let it sit. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this one. And yeah, you don't want to miss that video tomorrow. Tomorrow morning is what the bleep did I buy now? You want to see that one. It's pretty good. At least I think it is. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. So, take care, everybody. I'll see you next week, 8 p.m. Central. Bye.